Hello, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kristina. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy man stuff going on here. And as you know, every Friday we do our sci-fi. We did all of Star Trek Next Generation. We decided the movies were just too long to get into, and we've gone on to Voyager. And if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Out of all the shows, Voyager is my favorite. Theme music. And I can't sing for beans. But anyways, we're on disc 3, season 1, episode 112. We've done Emanations, Prime Factor, State of Flux. Today we're doing Heroes and Demons. And we do have a voiceover from the captain to start. Captain's log, stardate 48693.2. We've altered course to investigate some unusual intense photonic activity in a nearby protostar. Lieutenant Torres and I are beaming aboard samples for further analysis. So, containment field is active. We're ready for transport. Janeway says energized. And you just know how they speak to the air and stuff just happens? That's a strange. Both containers should have been filled. There's a problem. A slight breach in the angular confinement beam. I'm aborting transport. Okay, let's try this again. Energizing. Then they fill those containers. All right, I get a complete phase spectrum analysis on this as soon as possible. If the photonic matter works as well as I think it could boost the efficiency of our power converters 15%. I'd say more like 20, B'Elanna says. How long will it take to finish the preliminary analysis? 6 hours. See what happens. Okay, there are the containers. So then, B'Elanna has asked if Ensign Kim can work with her. Janeway says he's off duty right now. See if you convince him to, cancel his time off. They go looking for Ensign Kim. They cannot find Ensign Kim. They ask the computer, and the computer says he's not on board. Sensor logs show no record of any authorized transporter activity, and shuttlecraft are accounted for. If Ensign Kim left the ship, he did not do so by conventional means. Chakotay says his last shift ended 4 hours ago, and he was scheduled for time on the holodeck when he went off duty. No one has seen him since. Scan the holodeck. What's the matter? There is significant interference in the holodeck. I cannot obtain a clear scan. Is it a system malfunction? I do not believe so. So they head to the holodeck. So they override the entrance to the holodeck. And they go in, and it's all woods. And Tuvok is scanning the place, and he says, an ancient epic. They say the computer in progress is a HOLO novel based on the epic poem Beowulf. Tuvok says Beowulf. Chakotay says an ancient epic, English epic set in 6th century Denmark. If I remember correctly, it's about a hero named Beowulf who fights a creature that is terrorizing a kingdom and murdering its subjects. Monsters and swordplay, that sort of thing. So they do some more scanning, whatever, and then they run into Freya. I am Freya, shield maiden, daughter of King Hrothgar. I hold this guard post against any intruders who would bear us harm. So declare yourselves. I will hear your answer before you march any further through this land. We have no desire to trespass. However, we have an urgent mission. So if you allow us to continue, we would appreciate it. What land do you call home? Your faces tell me you are not men of Danes. Are you of kinsmen of Beowulf? Yes, we are kinsmen of Beowulf. I am Chakotay, and this is Tuvok. Have you seen Beowulf? Yes, he was like no other, hair straight and raven black, eyes fire with fierce, burning hero. How do you know he was Beowulf? This is Harry's novel. It makes sense that he'd be playing the hero. She might be able to help us figure out what happened to him. Reasonable assumption. Your kinsman was a noble warrior. It was right you should avenge his death. Yes, we'd like to know more about Beowulf died. Of course, come, I'll take you to the king. So they go into the great kingdom hall. I've tried to do this 5 times. I keep screwing it up. And they say that Harry was killed. What is wrong with my lighting? Oh, this is so bad. It's such a rainy day, too. I don't know what's wrong. Ugh. I don't know how to fix it. I bid you welcome to my hall, but the days of glad tidings are gone from this place. We grieve with you for your kinsman. We hope that a warrior of Beowulf's strength and renown would be able to deliver us from our curse. Can you tell us exactly what happened, Chakotay says. He met the same fate as 30 of our own warriors. True, Grendel says. They're the monster who's been attacking you. Repelled by light and laughter, the beast awaits until we slumber. Then, bereft of remorse, Grendel comes in murderous rage to my hall to take my people, and there is nothing anyone can do to stop it. If you are wise, you will forego your vengeance and return home. Death lives here now. And they talk some more about what happened with Harry. So Chakotay contacts the captain and says that we have found no signs of Harry, but we've encountered several holodeck characters who claim to know what happened to him. Mr. Kim was writing a HOLO novel based on the poem Beowulf. According to the HOLO characters, he attempted to battle a creature of some kind and was killed in the process. Killed! The HOLO safety programs are malfunctioning in the holodeck. We must consider the possibility. But you haven't found a body. No, if we shut down the program, we know if he's here or not. Run a diagnostic on the holodeck's imaging control system, Janeway says. If they're not working, try to repair them and relay your tricorder scans to the bridge. I'd like to analyze your readings. Okay, Chakotay out. So then, Tuvok and Chakotay walk around in circles in the hall with their tricorders. Primary imaging matrix should be here behind this wood panel, Tuvok says. I will attempt to locate the auxiliary matrix. This ancient Earth culture seems fascinated with monsters. Every culture has its demons. They embody the darkest emotions of its people. Give them physical form, and heroic literature is a way of exploring those feelings. The Voca of Rekka Prime believe that the hate is a beast which lives inside the stomach. The greatest mythical hero is a man who ate stones for 23 days to kill the beast and became a saint. Such fables are necessary only in cultures which unduly emphasize emotional behavior. I would point out that there are no demons in Vulcan literature. That might account for its popularity. Let's see. So then B'Elanna says, Janeway says, we analyze your tricorder data. At deep level scan shows minute quantities of photonic energy. How could it be on the holodeck? We think, B'Elanna says, it happened when we beamed aboard the samples for the protostar. There was a breach in the annular confinement beam, and photonic energy must have leaked into the transporter system. And from there into other ship systems as well, Janeway says. We've already found some in the replicators. That raises an uncomfortable possibility, Captain. Chakotay says, if the holodeck's conversion nodes were contaminated, Ensign Kim may have inadvertently undergone the process of matter conversion. You're saying he might be converted into energy? We have to consider that possibility, Janeway says. After all, the holodeck are basically an outgrowth of transported technology, changing energy into matter and back again every time a program is run. Except it's not supposed to convert people, B'Elanna says. Hold on, Captain. Chakotay says, something's coming. It's an object approximately 1 meter in diameter. I think Grendel may be paying us a visit. Captain, the holodeck told us Kim was killed by Grendel. An examination of this part of the program might be advisable. Jane was like, okay, go ahead. Cross your fingers. So, Tuvok and Chakotay are standing there with their scanners, waiting for the door to open, and there's this bright light here, right? And the door is banging and banging and banging, and the two men are standing there with their tricorders, right? And the scene cuts to the bridge, and B'Elanna reports that she's lost the life signs of Chakotay and Tuvok. So B'Elanna is talking about the scan stuff. This is a scan of the holodeck just before we lost contact with Chakotay and Tuvok. The readings are pretty garbled, but I'm still inclined to think there is a malfunction in the holodeck matter conversion nodes. Photonic energy leaking into the subsystems, Janeway says, could certainly damage the nodes, and it might have created a defect in the program that occurs when Grendel shows up. A defect that dematerializes our people. I'm not willing to accept the fact that Harry and the others are gone for good, Paris says. Their molecule patterns might still be there, and if they are, we might be able to rematerialize them. The only thing we can do is go back into the holodeck, study this energy surge, find out exactly what happened. Anyone goes back in there might end up just like the others. Maybe not anyone, Paris says. Me? Doc says. A hologram can't be converted into energy. It's already energy, Paris says. You're the perfect choice. How do you intend to transfer me out of sickbay? We'll have to modify our data stream protocols and imaging systems, but the fact that you're going to the holodeck simplifies things. The projection systems are already in place there. We're going to give you complete control over your magnetic containment field, B'Elanna says. You'll be able to make yourself solid or let matter pass through you at will. Nothing on the holodeck will be able to touch you unless you wanted to, Janeway says. I see, the doc says. Think of this as your first away mission, Doctor. I can understand your hesitation, but there are 3 lives at stake, and you have the best chance of anyone on this ship to save them. Do you understand that? Yes, he says. Computer, access full text of Earth Epic Beowulf, including historical annotation and cultural references. Data compilation in progress, the computer says. So then Cass comes in, and she says, Cass, come in. I don't know how long I'll be gone, but my absence is no reason to suspend your studies. How are you doing with the protein synthesis text? I finished it yesterday. Good, then you may as well start learning how to operate the base pair sequencer. You'll find the manual in the technical database. Was there something else? There's something bothering you. No, not at all. Now, excuse me, I have a great deal of preparation to do. You're nervous about this mission, aren't you? Nervous? I can perform surgery without getting nervous. I can make life or death decisions about patients without getting nervous. What makes you think I'm nervous? Those things are familiar to you. You've been programmed to do that, but this is different, isn't it? I can describe every detailed piece of equipment in the sick bay from biobit to neurostimulator, but I've never even seen a sky or forest, let alone Vikings monsters. I can't afford to fail, but I don't know what to expect in the holodeck. You've been telling me that you deserve to be treated like a member of the crew. Well, here's your chance. And I can tell you that none of the crew knows exactly what to expect when they go on a away mission, Doctor. You've chosen a name for yourself yet? He goes the entire effing season and never chooses a name for himself. They just end up calling him Doc. So, the Doctor goes into the forest. He meets with Freya. And, he gets her to take her back to the main hall. Freya comes in. I bring a new friend, Schweitzer, who has come to destroy Grendel. Greet him well. I would bid you welcome to my hall, but the days of glad tidings are gone from this place. I'm sorry to hear that, the doc says, but with your permission, sir, I'd like to stay here tonight and wait for Grendel. To what purpose? To raise false hopes again as others before you? Leave us alone in our misery. Afraid I can't do that. I have a mission. Your name means nothing to me. There are no songs of your deeds, no stories of your battles have fought. Who are you to believe that you can slay Grendel? I am simply a warrior. I'm only concerned with Grendel. I have no quarrel with you, the doc says. Indeed you do. And if you fight Grendel, you will first prove your worth to me. Defend yourself. Okay. So they challenge the doctor to a sword fight. He does it once or twice. The sword is massively heavy. He can't even hold it. He puts it down. He says it's absurd. So be it. You might want to put some ice on that. It'll take the swelling down. The sword goes right through the doctor. Our time of deliverance is at hand. We have been given a new champion, one with weapons that cannot hurt. The one who will destroy Grendel and end our suffering. All hail the hero. All hail Schweitzer. When I built this hall, the forest ran thick with them, but today's game's more scarce. Enjoy it, Schweitzer. It's our delicate. He eats the food? Wait a second. Let's go look. So, can holograms eat? It's quite good, the doc says. We really hear stories of other lands. On Earth with tales of your home. I am not much of a storyteller. Tell us his prowess. Well, there was a time I managed to spread the measles. They talk some more about some stuff. You know, it just occurred to me that instead of telling all these medical stories about defending the measles, he's a computer. He could have embellished, Hercules or something. Or some tale of, David and Goliath. That would have been good stories to tell these people. Then, they asked the doctor about his childhood. And he says, I don't remember much about my childhood. Well, I'm certain you distinguished yourself in battle many times and did your honor to your father. My lord, it goes great. It's time to retire. Always with you, it's time to sleep. Perhaps you have forgotten that work of a warrior is best not to rest. You do well to learn from Lord Schweitzer. This was a beautiful hall once before Grendel. You will make it so. You have our thanks. And so, I appreciate your faith in me, sire. So then Freya comes out to talk to the doctor. The nights are cold. I wanted to make certain you were comfortable. I appreciate your concern. I thought everyone had gone to sleep. Sleep does not come easily in this place. Not everyone I was taught in the world would end in winter. First, there would be a desperate cold, followed by a demon who would devour the sun. It has been long since we felt summer, and a demon does walk these halls. Freya, your world isn't coming to an end. Perhaps not, but it has changed. Every night the monster comes, and every day our numbers are lessened, and no one will speak of it. No one speaks of the fear that he will be next. Each meal becomes quieter than the last. After time, we barely speak at all. Do you know what it is to be among many and unable to speak your fears? I think I do. How do you survive? The doc says, I'm learning how. I'm not sure that's very helpful. Sometimes I believe I can see the moment of my own death. It comes in battle. I think my sword raised high. It is said that fate often spares a doomed warrior if his courage can prevail. But there have been days when I have felt my own courage falter, and then you came. I'm glad I could help. Perhaps I can help. Before you combat, it's sure to stay warm. You have done an excellent job with the fire. And she kisses him. Fire is not the only heat watch, Schweitzer. You know where I sleep. And she leaves. Holodeck to bridge. We're monitoring you. I'm picking up readings of photonic energy. And the door situation happens again. So then they beam the doctor out of the holodeck and he's missing an arm. So then Paris creates his arm back. Apparently, contact with photonic energy disrupted your magnetic cohesion, but we're still not sure if that's what's happened to the others. Captain, take a look at this. The readings from the doctor's tricorder when the energy surge made contact with him. They're showing a synaptic pattern. I wouldn't expect to see something like this in photonic energy. Is this the first time those patterns have shown up like this? Yes, but it's the first time we've had clear readings from a moment of contact. I wonder if we could reproduce these patterns in samples we have in engineering. If you can, you might be able to get more information about how photonic energy damaged the holodeck systems. I'm on it, Torres says. Paris says, I'll give you a hand. Okay, I've initiated a polarization field. I'm introducing it to the container. Okay, we're getting a reaction. It's producing a synaptic pattern, all right, highly complex. What's this? Whatever it is, it's cutting through the bulkheads. It's getting a containment field around it. It's heading for deck 14, section C5. Okay, I've got a containment field blocking it. Now it's changed direction. All right, let's see what happened. So they don't actually show what it was they were seeing. They just go running around to all the different terminals. So they say something's happening. And then Janeway says, a life form. It seems to have a neural net and it's demonstrating signs of intelligent behavior. It's cutting its way through the ship, heading for the outer hull. It'll breach in 15 seconds. Be ready to seal the hull breach with a force field. I'll have damage control team standing by for repairs. It's penetrating the outer hull. Force field is in place. It's showing the energy of 100 meters. Let's get it on screen. And you see bright lights out there. So then it seems to have a neural net and it's demonstrating signs of intelligent behavior. It appears to have some kind of photostatic lattice, and it seems to be pretty clear that the energy form was trying to get back to through its shelter of some kind. Jamie says, or a transportation device, their equivalent of a ship. At any rate, we had sensor contact for a few seconds and we picked up 3 distinct bioelectrical patterns inside. Bioelectrical, the doctor says. What are you suggesting? We have 3 missing crewmen. Our best guess has been that they were somehow converted into energy while they were on the holodeck. We find no sign of them on the ship. Then we pick up 3 discrete patterns in lattice. The 3 patterns that don't match anything else in the lattice. And we have biological components. I don't think it's a stretch to hypothesize that those are our crew members converted into some kind of photonic energy. What are they doing over there? How did they get there? We have good evidence now that these are photonic beings that live in photostar, life forms that have intelligence. We do not know that when we beamed those energy samples on board. We had no idea what we were doing. In essence, was capturing those life forms. We locked them into a containment field and began to experiment on them. If my people were taken like that, I know what my response would be. I would do whatever necessary to get them back. Then you think they have simply retaliated against us? Yes. These beings can manifest themselves in the holodeck in the matrix of a HOLO character. That's how they were able to take our crew members hostage. If you're right about this, the doc says, then we should return the remaining life form. A gesture to show, you mean, well, certainly with a trap. If I took the life form onto holodeck and released it to Grendel, then maybe it'll understand and release our people. Ordinarily, officers go through intense training before they put in their first contact situation. But you're the only one who can do this, Doc. We're believing in you to do this. So then the Doc goes back to the forest and he runs into Freya. And she's so excited to see him. So then Unearth comes. No, you speak lies. He's bewitched you. Unearth, I need to get this talisman to the hall. Then that gives me reason enough to make sure it never gets there. He knocks the doctor down. Freya defends him with a sword. No, please, you don't understand what you're doing. Prepare to die, demon. And Freya gets in front of the EMH. Unearth takes the container and leaves. Freya, my lord, time has come because he knifed her. And she says, Doc says, I won't forget you. Then she says, I die happily with your name on my lips. Farewell, Schweitzer. So the doctor goes to the hall. Where's his thing? He was just saying, I don't know if you can understand me, but watch, I'm setting this one free. He opens the container and he sets it free. There's no need for any more of this, please. We ask you return our crew. He's sacrificing it to Grendel. He's letting it go. So then Paris says, Captain, the photonic lattice has reappeared. Scan at all sensors. I'm reading massical particle surge on our holodeck. The lattice is gone. Holodeck to bridge. Go ahead, Doctor. So then Tuvok, Chakotay, and Harry Kim reappear. So then we get another captain's voice overview. Captain's log study 48710.5. Since the return of our missing crewmen, we've been unable to locate any further traces of the photonic aliens. I don't know if the being understood language or just my behavior. It would be interesting to pursue the relationship further. It's one of the most exciting aspects of space exploration. Meeting new species, establishing communication, sharing some differences and similarities. I'm sorry none of that happened this time, but it did. It just didn't happen in very predictable ways. But if you think about it, we entered a conflict, communicated, and eventually established a peace treaty with them. I'm special commendation to Interlock for exemplary performance by the chief medical officer during his first away mission. Thank you. I'd like to cite you by name. Crest tells me that you've chosen one. Is that true? I had, but I'm not sure I want to keep it. The last time I heard the name spoken was a painful one. I don't want to be reminded. Sounds like you had quite an adventure on the holodeck, Doctor. Yes, I would say so. Well, that tells me something you haven't heard your last one. Something tells me the same thing, the doc says. And that's where it ends. And that is the end of this disc. We got to move on to disc 4 and the next episodes. I hope you'll tune in with me next week to go through all of these. And I hope you have a good day. And don't forget to like and subscribe.